Well, it's about 5 o'clock in the morning, and we are headed off to another Rocky Mountain Smith's Workshop in Greeley, Colorado, a Glen Bradley shop. David Osmundsen will be there, and he's going to demonstrate forging a grub hoe. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of footage of that today. So time to get on the road. About halfway there. The sun will be up soon. Well, we're here at Glen's in Greeley, Colorado. He has a much cleaner, neater piece of property than I do.
I went around the I don't know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Most everybody's here. As you probably guessed, I'm Glen. This is Dave Osmundsen. Thanks for coming. I don't know if the free food was the major draw. I'm hoping it was Dave. Major draw.
I thought he was coming out and hanging out in an actually clean shirt. Kind of a treat for me.
Dave Osmundsen runs the Arrowhead Forge School of Blacksmithing in Buffalo, Wyoming. If you're looking for blacksmithing classes, you might want to look him up.
Well, Glenn had asked me if I'd come and do something for this meeting. He said he wasn't able to, operating from surgery. And so I made the mistake of asking him, I said, what do you want me to do? You know, I was thinking of something that I do all the time. And he says, well, you make that peasant's hoe. I said, would you make one of those? I said, all right, I like to accommodate. So, just to put out the disclaimer right away, I've only made one of these before in my life. Actually, I take that back. I made 1.5. We started out with 2, one fell off. The hole got punched, a little crooked on it. So, this will be the second one I've made. And I've made some different tooling that I'm going to try out, experiment. But in reality, that's what this trade's all about. You know, we're constantly experimenting and stuff. And if you stick with making the same thing all the time, the same way, you're going to get bored at it. And there's so many different things you can do in this trade, so many different ways you can do it. So that's going to be what this demonstration is. For those of you that don't know what a peasant's hoe is, it's just kind of a real heavy-duty hoe. A lot of people in the States would call it an adze because it looks just like an adze. And in reality, if we added a high carbon steel bit to it, it could be used as an adze. But this is a heavy-duty hoe. I guess a grub hoe would be another term for it. And it has about 0.28% carbon in it. What we're going to do is we're going to do a layout on the narrow sides of the bar. Line up our hole that we're going to punch and drift. We're going to punch and drift and make the eye on one end. Then we're going to come down and we're going to cut 3/4 of the way down here to isolate our eye from our blade. Then we're going to split that lengthwise and lay that open, and that's going to be our hole. And then the rest of it from there is a process of fullering it out, thinning it out, getting it down to the thickness. And we're probably going to shoot for about 3/16 of an inch thickness. So it's going to be a pretty heavy duty hole for some serious work. We'll fuller it, we'll run a flatter over it. We're going to use the power hammer a little bit. I'm going to need a striker from the audience because we'll do some hand striking and some power hammer work. Kind of mix it up a little bit. And then we'll hot cut, we'll trim it with a hot cut. and maybe do a little grinding or hot rasping. We'll see when we get that far. And that will finish the forging on it. Now this is nice to have this a little tougher than just how the mild steel is. If we were making an adze, which would shape it basically the same, I would then forge weld a piece of high carbon steel onto the bit. Somewhere in the process where I could draw that out. But we're not going to do that today. This is going to be a peasant's hoe, and for that, we're going to heat treat this by quenching it in some Gunther's Super Quench, which I think Glen's got some mixed up.
Yeah.
So for those of you that aren't familiar with that, we'll give you a little introduction to that. So that's a way you can make mild steel harder than it is right now. So it's a little bit of an overview. Half inch, inch and a half, and then if I was on a full length bar, I would mark at 6.5. So our overall length is 6.5. I think I told you wrong. I said inch and a half. So we're going to go half inch and 2 inches. Half inch and 2 inches off the end. Then we're going to find center of that between those two marks, which will be 3/4. And then we're going to find center down the length. We have a 1-inch bar, so we'll mark this at half. This at half. Connect all the dots, and we'll end up with something like that. So we have half inch, 2 inches, and we centered everything. So now, and what this gives us the length of our eye and the center, so we'll have about a half inch all the way around our eye to work with. Now there's several different types of punches. What I'm going to use is a slitting punch today. I made this just before I came. It was my homework to get ready, and we're going to try it. I haven't used it yet, so it's an experiment. Always go into battle with a proven weapon, right? So this is, see, it comes down, it's almost like a hot cut. Basically it is a hot cut. But I've got a little bit of a bevel on each side. And so that gives me a little bit of a point there to work with. And the advantage to that is that instead of marking all this and battling, trying to get it centered between the lines, if I come in on this center right there, I put a center punch mark there, I do the same on the other side. Now I can come in with this tool with this little point on there, and when this is hot, all I got to do is my punch mark is big enough. I just have to find where that sets in there. So now I'm centered in one direction, and then I just have to orientate it this so I'm centered in the other direction. And it makes it look simpler. The other approach, and what I usually use, is a slot punch, which is flat on the bottom, and we're actually shearing, where this is a cutting. We're shearing with a slot punch and go down in there, but then I have to, then I'm centering it between these two marks, and that's a little bit harder. You know, right now when it's cold, it's real easy, but when you pull that out and it's 1800 degrees glaring at you, it gets a little touchy. So that's our layout, and
It's not pushing it down, it's just getting it to the right height, in the right place.
good. And that's the way I advocate doing it. I don't let anybody working around me get into the John Henry swing. You know, it looks good on YouTube videos, but remember, John Henry died from doing that, so we won't get into that too much. You don't have the control. You do get a lot of power that way, but your chances of missing and hitting something you're not supposed to hit are really great unless you're really, really experienced at it. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really experienced at swinging a sledgehammer. I've done it a lot, but that doesn't make me really experienced. So I always advocate doing it just like Dan showed you. So we're going to bring this out. We'll have you over there, Dan.
You chose to sit there.
Find our mark. Okay. Now we're going to go to the other side so we don't crush this mark and lose it. Okay. You give it one hit, you look at it, you make sure that you're lined up. Okay. Go. 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 Stop. Let's see. Do you have a little anvil block or something for your hardy? This would be a good illustration of how crooked you can get it. Hopefully we can salvage this. Let forge get hotter.
Will it get
If
hotter?
we crank it up.
I can crank it up.
It's the welding grass. Here's our hole as we have it now. We'll probably reach it about halfway. We're going to come in from the other side a little bit. Okay, I can see we went in this way the last time. We're going to go in this way this time. Oh yeah.
call which way you put the handle in.
Depends on, yeah. Well, we're gonna have a tapered hole, so the handle's only gonna go on one way. So you have your option of awkward or less awkward. until you get used to it. Practice that a little bit. But you want to hit it hard, but under a lot of control. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Okay. Hang on, do it just like that.
Like that. Oh, yeah, that's awkward.
So now, don't move your legs. Turn your upper body the other way. Don't make it more. Flip this hand around. No, maybe you had it right. Yeah. So, that's right, isn't it? Yeah. It's easy for me to do. It's hard for me to look at somebody. And, I just don't want to jump in and do any side, because remember we did have a tapered hole, and we want to do this cut on our narrow end, which looks to be that way. It goes in deeper that way, so we're going to start this from this direction. We're going to come in about an inch, 3/4 of an inch in. So just give me a half of it. One more. One more. So we're going to correct that a little bit. Again. So I want you to move, because your hand is, move over here.
Move over this way?
Because your hand is swinging too close to this. Okay. And I want you to hit that with your hand. Yep. How you doing?
So far, so good, I guess. I don't know, you tell me.
Feeling more comfortable with it?
Getting there.
Okay, when I do this, you stop. All right, we'll add in there, don't hurt Glen's ankle.
Spectators, fair game though, right?
Yep. Stop. Stop.
What was that? I'm sorry. What was that?
Stop. The very end, you see how we've distorted the eye a little bit? That's normal. We'll clean that up. We'll just run the drift back in there when we're done. So, does it look like a tool?
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. Okay, do the tap. We're a little slow to begin with. Okay. Yeah. 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 Good. 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 Reheat it. We'll go. So. let's see what this does to it. Somebody wants to grab a camera. It's got might be an opportunity to fix our.
There's no danger of you messing up the edge of it. When you straw, you want the spine to be on.
Yes.
A lot of times, get laying on the side and to disassemble it. I kind of take out one.
We're kind of straight.
You want to flip this one.
Oh no. Fuck it.
Fireworks. Put her in
Watch your nose. Watch the whiskers. Party holes on the wrong side. I'm going to get out of the way so the piece doesn't fly into me. Yep. Jump for plastic buckets.
Burn rubber.
Yep. Let's a little bit off here, so we're going to take a little bit better.
technology, man.
Now we're going to trim this a little bit, cut it off, and we'll do a little grinding. Alright, we're going to change positions here. You guys are fine. Okay. They were anticipating what you.
Been there, done that. Couple times.
See if we can do this a little more controlled. Sure, not sending big hot chunks of metal flying through the air. Looks a little funky.
First one at 5. I took off the shot
Now I've got all this rag here. It would have been nice if I had avoided that, but I'm going to hot rasp that off. So I'm going to go over to the vise with the hot rasp.
Yeah, I got a bucket of 20 bucks.
How many times did you burn yourself putting that?
Not much lately. Over the years, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Put my glove on. Talk about the heat treating. Here, carbon steel. The act of heating it up, and we overheat it when we work it. Okay? Just to get it soft enough to work it, we've overheated it. But so that adds stress. It changes the molecules in it. They get separated and excited, and they want to jump ship. And everything we get a coarse grain in it. So the only way to fix that is to heat it up past the critical temperature, get it back up where they're slightly excited like that, and allow it to cool down really slow, to come down through that critical temperature and down until it's cool. That gives them time to, in real simplistic terms, get back to the shape that they want to be in, bond together, refine that grain, and then we're in good shape. So just heating it up and quenching it doesn't do that. It has to allow it to cool down slowly. And that's what normalizing and or annealing is all about. We get away without doing it on this because this is mild steel, but it's always a good idea if you have the time to do it. Now if this was a higher carbon steel, we'd have to do that, or we could fracture it and harden it because we have that poor grain structure. So I'm going to tune this up with grinding a little bit.
Well, I'm afraid that's all the video footage I took of yesterday's demo in Greeley, Colorado. That was Dave Osmundsen forging a grub hoe at Glen Bradley's shop. Glen and his wife Becky also fed us all lunch. They put on a huge spread of pulled pork, barbecued brisket, all the side salads and other stuff you'd want, including dessert. It was a great day, and it's a good example of why you should participate in your local blacksmithing group. It's a good time to hang out with other blacksmiths and you learn lots of stuff. But it's time for me to get back to work in the shop. It was a long day yesterday. I got up at 4:30 in the morning, didn't get home till about 8:30 that evening, but it was all worth it. And today we're back in the shop. We're going to make something. We're going to stay safe, and we're going to wear our safety glasses, so we'll see you later.